What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the the live start sit with the Fatboyz on the Fantasy Holics Podcast Network. Brent, we were back live together Wednesday. It threw me off. I'm Bo. That is Brant. Coming at you guys for Week 11, presented by the Fantasy Holics, live on X, YouTube, and Facebook. Getting you guys ready for your Week 11 matchups. We got an overseas contest that's been nothing short of great if you love sacks on third and short and field goal kicks.
Right. I mean, that's all it is. We weren't expecting a great game between these two, both struggling offenses, both very susceptible defenses, and it's really weird. They're not even trying to move. It looks like they're not even trying to move the ball very well. And like you said, if they get down to the red zone just fine, good chunk plays all the way down, and then just can't finish a drive, and it's going to end up just being a little field goal fest here. So if you started any of the kickers, you should be in good shape.
Yeah.
At least it's looking like. And even if you obviously A-Chain's having a great game. He's already at 55 rushing yards. He may have added more since we started. But yeah, it's been football at 8:30 in the morning.
The game. All right, Kevin starts us off this morning. He says, "Good morning, boys." He says he needs one running back and one flex from this list: Quinshon Judkins, R.J. Harvey, Chase Brown, Jordan Addison, Christian Watson.
Judkins is my running back.
I almost lean towards benching Judkins. R.J. Harvey with J.K. Dobbins on the IR is very intriguing. I know it's a tough matchup, but we've seen flashes of how explosive R.J. Harvey is, and I really, really, really like Chase Brown this week a lot.
See, I think I'm going Judkins and Chase Brown because of that hard matchup with R.J. Harvey. So, yeah, I think I go Judkins and Brown.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go Harvey and Brown. So, Kevin, whichever your gut tells you on that Judkins and Harvey one, that's where you're at, and then Brown's your must play.
Tony says, "Good morning, guys. I already played Diggs, so I need two wide receivers in PPR out of the following players: Flowers, McConkey, and Tet." Flowers and
I'm going McConkey and Tet.
I'm going McConkey, and yeah, I think it's going to be Tet for me as well. Yeah, McConkey and Tet here.
Adam says, "Good morning, guys. K-Dot or Colston, Loveland, and half-point PPR." I think I'd go Loveland in this because the Bills are number one against the tight end. Be tough for K-Dot to have a massive day with how good the Bills are against that position. So I'll go Loveland.
Yeah, I'm going Loveland as well. Same reason. It's going to be tough for K-Dot to get going. So, yeah, I'm going to go Loveland. Chris asked, Pitts or Theo? I am going to go with Kyle Pitts here. I like the matchup this week. I think they look for him. Carolina's pretty susceptible against the tight end, so I'm going to go with Pitts here.
You are noisy this morning, Brant. I think I'm leaning Theo Johnson, honestly, because Jameis Winston's under center today. That ball's getting aired out. It's getting thrown. It's going to get spun to the Giants players. It's going to get spun to the Packers players. Theo Johnson, I think, is probably the second best pass catching option in that offense outside of Wandale at this point. And Pitts has been good, but he's had some drops. He's been kind of in and out, honestly, a little bit. So I think I actually go Theo Johnson with Jameis Winston under center.
Okay.
All right, Tony says both playing reasonable defenses today. He's got Lamar versus Cleveland or Red Hot Stafford versus Brant Seahawks.
I go with Lamar. The rushing upside, I go with Lamar here. I think this one's got a little chance of some weather and some rain, so you could see a lot more read our RPO plays. Not a lot more, but a few more. So I'm actually going to go with Lamar here.
I'm going Stafford. I'm riding the hot hand. 4 touchdown passes last week. Guys playing at MVP level. Lamar Jackson's Lamar. I mean, there's no disputing that. But like you just alluded to, Brant, that weather could be awful in Cleveland. So I have low expectations for the passing. Whereas you guys' game is in a dome today. It should be all guns go. So I'm going to go Stafford just because of the weather. If Baltimore was playing somewhere where the weather wasn't an option, Seattle's defense does scare me enough that I'd probably lean Lamar. But with Lamar having weather issues plus the Browns defense, who's also pretty good, I'm going to go Stafford.
Okay. Jennifer asked Pearsall or Wandell. I think I go Wandell with Jameis Winston under. Let's see how Pearsall comes back from missing all that time. So I think I go with Wandell.
Yeah, I like Wandale as well. Just because of how many targets he's seeing a game right now, plus the fact that, again, you do get Jameis Winston under center, who, again, is going to air that thing out. It's going to happen, I think, because of that reason. I go Wandale. Kevin says, with Coleman out for the Bills, is Knox a better play than Harold Fannin Jr.? I don't think so.
I don't either. I think I go with Fannin Jr. here.
Yeah, there's that. What is it? Jackson Hawes, that rookie tight end there in Buffalo, who's been getting some work as well. We all know Josh Allen doesn't make the mistake of hyper targeting one player more than the other too often. Anyway, so do I think Knox has a decent game? Yeah, I do. But is he going to be the tight end, top 10 on the week? I don't think so. Fannin has that opportunity. So I will go with Harold Fannin on that one.
Yep, as well. Patrick asked, Jaden Higgins versus the Titans or A.J. Brown versus Detroit? I'm going with Brown here. That game could end up being in a game where it's just air it all out. Everything goes. They're both sitting at over 21 points. It's 46 over under on it. I'm going to go with A.J. Brown here.
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with you on this one, Brant. It's Jaden Higgins is one of my favorite rookies this year. I just, however, think that, there's too much media on this A.J. Brown saga in Philly. I think they're going to try to quiet that down this week. I think A.J. Brown's in line for a pretty good week.
Jennifer says, Love or Darnold? What has Love done the last few weeks?
I'm going Darnold. He's done nothing. He's done nothing.
I think I'm going Darnold as well. Something in my gut tells me this is going to be a defensive battle between the Rams and the Seahawks, and it's not going to have a whole lot of points, but I still think I lean Darnold.
Yep, I'm going Darnold. King Kanadi says Tez Johnson or Michael Wilson here. You know what? Shockingly enough, the Cardinals have a higher implied point total than the Buccaneers do today, but I think I still lean Tez Johnson on this one.
See, I'm leaning Michael without Harrison's out,
Harrison.
right?
Yeah, he is.
So yeah, I think I lean Michael Wilson on this one.
Okay, all right.
Not by much though. Ryan asked, need one for PPR, Pitts, Ferguson, or Gatson? I think I go Gatson on this one here, 23.5. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Gatson.
I am all guns blazing on Ferguson this week, and the highest implied point total, 50.5 points in this game on Monday night is the over-under from Vegas. In Vegas, actually, Cowboys favored by 3.5 right now. I think I go Ferguson. There's no defense in Vegas, so I like Ferguson a lot.
Okay.
Mark says, 2-part question, half-point PPR, Pearsall at Cards or Parker Washington versus the Chargers. And then the other part is Goddard versus the Lions or Gadsden at Jags. So let's start with that wide receiver one. Do you like Pearsall or Parker Washington, Brant?
What's Brian? Brian Thomas still out, correct?
Correct.
Or is he questionable?
I believe he's been ruled out, I think, or is trending towards.
Yeah, on the wrong side of questionable. I think I go with Parker Washington. Yeah, I think I go Parker Washington on this one. I still got to see what Pearsall is coming back.
I lean Parker Washington on that one as well.
Okay.
As far as the other part of it, I'm fully in on Gadsden over Goddard this week.
Yeah, I am too. I'm in on Gadsden over Goddard as well.
Okay.
Let's see. Tony says, is Drake London going to play? Sounds like he's going to with an illness. And then question 2 is Travis Kelce or Gatson? A lot of Gatson this morning. A lot of Gatson who. Yeah, I'm going Gatson. Let's see. Kelce gets Denver, who's. Yeah, I'm going to go with Gatson on this one. The Jags are giving up the second most fantasy points to tight ends per game. So I'm going to go with Gatson.
Yep, Gadsden's got a much better matchup as far as the London thing. He's going to try. I don't know whether to say temper expectations or not. I know earlier in the week he missed some practice with the flu. Hopefully he's coming on the better side of that now and should be able to play a full game. But I guess maybe it's worth noting that maybe he doesn't have the 10 receptions, 105 yards, and a touchdown line this week. It's possible. So I'd just be mindful of that. But yeah, he's going to play. Betsy says, good morning, fellas. Good morning, Betsy. Having flex problems. Started Travion on Thursday, so I'm good in a good spot fighting between Aaron Jones and Rashad White. Also have Wandale available, but weather has me worried for that one. I think I go Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones is one of the better plays of the week against a Bears defense that's still pretty susceptible against the run. I like Aaron Jones. Yeah,
I'm going with Aaron Jones as well. I like the start. I like the matchup. Aaron Jones knows that team very well and how to run against them. So I'm going to go with Aaron Jones as well.
Oops, skipped one. My bad.
Jeff says, hey, fellas, Pearsall versus Addison versus Keenan Allen at flex, half-point PPR. I really want to say Addison on this one. I like Jordan Addison this week.
Jordan Addison's had nothing but bad games since J.J. McCarthy's been back. 4 targets. He did have 11 targets this week, but only 3 catches. It's not been good. Keenan Allen's faded into the distance. I'm rolling the dice on Pearsall on this one. This is one that I will play Pearsall. Addison's not been good. And
how bad he's been.
Keenan Allen's almost non-existent in that Chargers offense at this point. So,
yeah, give me Pearsall. I guess I didn't realize how bad Addison's been. I feel like the last couple of times I've turned that game on, he was the one catching the ball, so it may have only been one of his, catches. So yeah. All
right. Kevin says, Brandon Aubrey or Cam Little. Can't believe last week Trevor Lawrence threw interceptions before half and into the game to prevent Cam from trying a 60 or 70 yarder. Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't be shocked to see Cam hit a 70 yarder at some point in the NFL season, just with how much power he has. Honestly, these are two of the more premier kickers, I think, in the league at this point. I think I still lean Brandon Aubrey just because of how high scoring I expect that contest to be Monday night. But Cam Little's, he's awful fun to watch kick.
I'm actually going to lean Cam Little because I think the Chargers have a little bit better of a defense and might be able to keep Jacksonville out of the end zone and keep them in field goal range. So instead of 1 point for the 75 touchdowns you're going to see this in that Monday night game, I think that I think I lean Cam. I think he'll have a few more options to get three or 4 points rather than just 1.
Okay. All right. I think, your Cam Little's kicker 13 on the season. Aubrey's 5-2 for whatever, if that helps you make a decision at all. But I'm okay with either one of them at this point.
Jennifer says, Fannin, Myers, or Shaheed? I go with Fannin here.
I will go Jacoby Myers out of these three just because of the fact that, well, let me rephrase that. If Brian Thomas ends up being ruled out, I like Jacoby Myers. If Brian Thomas gives it a go, I'll go Fannin. I don't expect Brian Thomas to play, so I lean Jacoby on that one.
Okay.
Tony does follow up his previous question by saying if he ends up sitting London, it's Nico Collins, which is I like Nico as well. I mean, against the Titans, it's not a high implied point total. So again, I think London with the flu has a higher ceiling than Nico Collins, but I feel like Nico and Drake could have the same floor, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I like Nico to be that rotational piece as well. So yeah, I like that matchup.
So are you saying he should sit London then for Nico, or still go with London as long as he plays?
I still go with London as long as he plays. Focal point of that offense. I can't sit him.
Okay, that's how I feel as well.
Focal point of the passing game, I guess. Not the full offense.
No, you said it right the first time. Bijan's been faded for some reason. I don't understand it. But.
Thoughts on Benton Strange once he comes back from the IR? Do you think he's a better option than Fannin Jr. for the fantasy playoffs? No, I think you stick with Fannin Jr.
Mm-hmm. I do too. Yeah, I mean, honestly, as sick as it sounds, as long as Dylan Gabriel's the starting quarterback in Cleveland, I really, really, really like Harold Fannin because it doesn't seem like Dylan Gabriel's a deep shot candidate. I know that they've been really working hard at getting Jerry Jeudy involved in that offense, but I like Brenton Strange, I like Harold Fannin Jr. down the stretch much better than I do Brenton Strange because we don't even know what he's going to look like coming back from the injury. So Harold Fannin's the guy for me right now.
Yep.
Christian says, "Morning, boys. More Gadsden. Hey, we can't get enough. Go ahead, keep asking them. It's better this way." Cade Otton versus Buffalo or Gadsden versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, Cade Otton's playing the number one defense against tight end this week. I'm fading him in favor of Gadsden in this one.
Yeah, I'm taking Gadsden as well here. Dan says Tracy Jr., AJ Barner, or Dawson Knox.
I really like to go with Dawson Knox on that one, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think that's where I'm leaning. I was about to say I really want to say Knox, but it's tough to play a tight end over a running back. But yeah, I think I go with Knox.
I mean, the Green Bay defense has been pretty decent against the run. AJ Barner, I feel like the bottom's got to drop off on that eventually with Arroyo taking more away from him. But every time I think that, it doesn't happen. So I don't know. But I think the safer one out of these three is Dawson Knox.
Barner has been, last week he had 0 targets, 0 receptions. But he had 2 rushing attempts for 3 yards. He is our tush push. Barner is our tush push. Yes, the week prior he had 3 receptions for 4. He was saved by a tush push touchdown. He's just a big guy that we fit in where he gets in. He played quarterback in high school, so he's comfortable taking the snaps. I'm not trusting him as an every week starter.
Yeah, I'm not either. Yusuf says, "Hey fellas, would you flex Loveland or Chubb? Already got Ferguson starting. Thanks."
I actually go. I really want to say Chubb just because that matchup. But Woody Marks has been taking so much from him.
I think I'd go Loveland. Last week you had both Loveland and Kmet on the field. Loveland still had 4 receptions, had a good little week, tight end 13 finish going against the Minnesota defense, which is 19th against the tight end right now. So I think I go Loveland and think maybe you get one of those breakaway touchdowns.
Yep, I'm going to go with Loveland as well. Traded JMC for Kevin says traded JCM for RJ Harvey before Dobbins news was official. Don't think Harvey owner knew anything about Dobbins. LOL. Great fleece there. You got it done. RJ Harvey going forward is going to probably get the Chuba Hubbard. Dobbins is probably about to get the Chuba Hubbard treatment where Harvey's going to have a few good games while Dobbins is out, and then it'll be all the RJ Harvey show.
Yeah, I mean, Bill's been terrible all season. He's not. If anybody had Bill and held on to him and didn't trade them during the hype, I think they're regretting that right now because getting beat out by Chris Rodriguez is disgusting. I like RJ Harvey. RJ Harvey had standalone value with Dobbins. Now without him, the sky's the limit. I like him a lot. Now, don't expect to go see RJ Harvey getting 3-down workloads because that's just not how Sean Payton operates, but I expect healthy numbers for RJ Harvey rest of season.
Yep. Will be a tough matchup this week against the Chiefs, but I still think a good healthy matchup or a good healthy dose of them.
Zach says Parker Washington, Cortland Sutton, or take a swing with Tyler Algier in my flex and full PPR.
I think I'd go Parker Washington.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it feels like all three of these guys have very, very similar potential. I mean, I think Tyler Algier probably finds the end zone again. It seems like short yardage situation. Bijan's finding the pine, and Algier's the one in. Sutton's still, in my mind, the guy in Denver. I really like the emergence of Troy Franklin this year, but I think, in a big game like this against the Chiefs, I think you're going to see a lot of Cortland Sutton. But Parker Washington, I think as long as BTJ doesn't play, is also going to have a huge game this week. So I think I'd go Parker Washington with you, Brant. But I think, honestly, you could have fine showing out any of these guys. So.
Patrick says, does Mariota look decent or is Miami just that bad? Miami's that bad.
Nah, that's not the case. Mariota's looked pretty good in his time under center with Daniels out this year.
Miami's that
gross, but Miami is that bad. But Mariota has I hate Marcus Mariota. There's no hiding my feelings about him as his time in Atlanta. But this guy's got quarterback finishes of quarterback 6, quarterback 17, 19, 13, and starts this year. He did have one stinker against Dallas, but he was also only on the field for 31% of the snaps. So I think Marcus Mariota, when he plays a full game, he's all right. I mean, he's not going to win you a week, and you're not necessarily super excited about playing him. But yeah, he's been okay. His rushing ability is still pretty darn good at this point in his career. So yeah, he's not great, but yes, I think decent sums it up. I think he's decent. Zach says pick 2 AJ Brown, Woody Marks, Harvey, Rashad White, full PPR. I go AJ Brown and RJ Harvey on this one.
I go AJ Brown, and I'm going to say Harvey. Woody Marks' matchup is so good this week. I was trying to find a way to get him in my lineups, but I don't think I'm going to be able to, and I think I go with Harvey, as he'll be seeing probably a good 75% of the workload, if not more, this week. So, Jennifer says Calvin Austin or DJ Moore. I'm a little apprehensive after that 0 last week.
Sorry, I thought you'd struggle with apprehensive, Brant. I'm proud of you.
I struggle a little bit. I've been working on my reading in class today when they made me read out loud. I chimed in a few times. I just didn't sit back there. I think I go, I'm going DJ Moore.
Yeah, I was going to say I wanted to go look and see if there was any way I could get myself interested in Calvin Austin, but
where it got me interested was the fact that they're playing Cincy. But I think DK has a great game, and I'm going to talk about it later. I think Warren and DK have the 2 best games there.
Calvin Austin's had 6 or 7 targets the last 3 weeks. So the targets are there. It's just still Calvin Austin. So I think I go with DJ.
DJ. Yep. I'm actually going to talk about the Steelers here in a little bit. A couple of the players.
Okay. Paul says, "Morning, guys. Got a trade question for Dynasty. This is the bread and butter here. This is what Brant and I get excited about. Got Burden, wide receiver for Chicago, for a 2027 second round and 2028 third round pick. I'm leaning towards accepting it because Luther is sitting on my bench."
I'd have to see it. I'd have to see your whole roster, but I'm 100% on board with Finley here. I'm saying no. You'd have to have 3 guaranteed future top 10 wide receivers for me to probably even consider this one, but I'm leaning more towards no. I want more for Burden.
Paul, I'm going to tell it to you like this. I, in the last 2 weeks, have sent out very strong trade offers in every league I'm in to get more shares of Luther Burden in the leagues I don't have him, and I can't get him from anybody anywhere. I think the 2027 second round and 2028 third is super light. I think Burden only gets better. His trade value is going to skyrocket this offseason because I think DJ Moore finds his way out of Chicago. I like Luther Burden a lot moving forward. I think it would take a really strong offer to pry him out of my hands. I'm not trading Burden for 2 low picks.
Okay. Jennifer asks, Aaron Jones, Tet, Woody Marks, or Wandell in the flex? I go Aaron Jones here. I like this matchup this week. I think I lean Aaron Jones on it.
Yep, I go with Aaron Jones as well. Wanderer says, start 2, ETN, Swift, Devonta Smith, or Judkins. Already had Henderson go off, so need decent floor and half-point PPR. Well, if you want the floor, it's Swift and Judkins for me.
Yeah, floor, I'm going Swift and Judkins. You know their involvement. Etienne does have a great matchup this week. I do think he has one of his bounce backs games, but his yards are even pretty low for Vegas, higher and lower over there on Underdog. So I still don't know if he has such a great game. So I think I go with Swift and Judkins.
Okay.
Charles says, pick 2 standard, Chase Brown, Woody Marks, or Derrick Henry. I think you go Chase Brown and Derrick Henry. Those two have the better, in a standard league, those two have the better chance of finding the end zone, especially if that weather does play a factor there in Cleveland's game, or in Baltimore versus Cleveland. I think Derrick Henry holds on to that ball, and I think those are the 2 higher touchdown upsides.
As you say, Derrick Henry holds onto the ball. That's been his problem the last 2 years. But yeah, I think you're still right. I think I agree with you, Grant. I'm still not sold on the whole Woody Marks thing. Woody Marks had a spell where he was good, and then everybody started getting in on the train, and he was bad, and now he's kind of coming back, and I can't advocate for it. So right now I'm leaning away from him over versus the other 2.
Derrick Henry's been fixing this fumble issue, has he not?
He has.
Okay,
yeah, it's gotten better the last 3 weeks versus the first.
I was gonna say I didn't think I was crazy. I could have swore he did because he just beat the brakes off of me.
Ryan says, "What's up, fellas? Excuse me. Pickens or Henry in my flex? He gets 0.25 per carry. I gotta say this guy just was my rival this week in head coaching Biddy basketball on Saturday. His team put the foo fops onto my team, so I'm still a little bitter. But it's like I told you yesterday, Ryan. I think with the 2 points per, or the 2.25 per carry, I think it's really hard to lean away from Derrick Henry.
Yep, absolutely, really hard to. I'm going Derrick Henry as well. It's too much guaranteed points when he sees 15 carries a game.
Yeah, it's you got to play him.
Christian says, pick 2, Derrick Henry, Woody Marks, or Quinshon Judkins. I think I go Henry and Judkins here. I love Marks this week. I just cannot, like you said, put him in my lineup as much as I want to. I can't do it because last time I did it, I got burnt by it, and I just can't trust it.
Yeah, I'm leaving Woody Marks on the bench as well. He'll probably go off since we're advocating so hard against him, but Right now I think it's really hard to play Woody just because, like you just alluded to, Brent. Last time everybody put him in the lineup, he burned him. So. Michael says, is Drake London a good to go this week? Right now, it looks that way. We should get some more information in about 29 minutes here. I expect him to play. He's expected to play. I don't know whether you tamper expectations or not, but I think right now Drake London is good to go. I think if you've got him, you're playing him. So.
At FFB Jumbo, my guys, good morning. Woody Marks or DeAndre Swift in PPR? The question will either keep me undefeated or cost me my first loss. No pressure. I think I go with Swift. I'm gonna go with the back that I've been winning the undefeated season with, because I know you have not been starting Marks over Swift, so I'm gonna go with Swift here.
Yeah, I mean, Brant, you and I were both in sync on this at the beginning of the season, right? After the Bears offense or the Bears front office made such a push to improve that offensive line, we both said the same thing. We want whoever the guy is getting the carries underneath behind that offensive line. Even with the emergence of Common guy last week, DeAndre Swift still had 62% of the carries, saw 60% of the snaps, 13 carries. Also had 8 targets last week. You're absolutely playing DeAndre Swift. We know what his role is going to be. I don't expect him to get sat near the goal line, whereas Woody Marks could end up losing carries around the goal line to Nick Chubb. I'm 100% in on Swift.
Okay.
Jamie says, what's up, fellas? Warren, Henry, or Williams? LA need 2.
I'm going with Warren and Henry.
Oh, it's Kyron Williams from LA is what he's saying there. I understand now. Yeah, I think I lean slightly towards Warren and Henry just because of matchups there. No, you know what? I'm going Warren and Kyron Williams. I've got Kyron Williams as a touchdown scorer. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later on. I don't expect him.
I'm going to talk about him later too.
I don't expect him to have a massive game, but I think he does find the end zone. Blake Corum's not stealing enough from him, so I'm going to go with Kyron Williams. He's been surprisingly good this year. So
I'm still sticking with Warren and Henry on that one there. Ryan asked also about the London status here. He's considering Pickens over London. Do you think London will be good to go? I do think London will be good to go. I think he'll play. I think he'll have 100% snap share. They'll shove an IV in him and get him ready to get out there, even with him being sick. And who knows, maybe he'll have a Michael Jordan flu game for us this week and, hang a nice 40 point, 50 points in fantasy.
Yeah, I think, Ryan, honestly, if Drake goes, you play him. I'm not upset with Pickens if you end up leaning that way, just because you never know when a player's sick. But I think if London's on the field, it's because he's going to be able to go 100%. I don't think they'll dangle him out there if he's not good to go. So we should, again, about 25 minutes from now, we should get a decent update on that. I expect him to give it a go. So I think you're okay leaving London in. Gregory says, exposing just how horrible my team is, even asking this, but Flacco or Rodgers? Greg, I know this is going to hurt you, buddy, but I think you go with Flacco on this one.
Yeah, I do too. I think you go with Flacco, the better weapons overall. So I think I go Flacco.
Yeah. I'm going to put this one up there. It's not a question, so we won't count this one for you, Brant, but Jay does come back and say, thanks, fellas. Stay hungry. One thing to know about the Fatboyz is we're hungry.
I am hungry. My kids brought me home a breakfast burrito, and it's sitting in the microwave. I'm just itching to get to it, but I figured I'd be nice and not eat it on air.
We appreciate it.
Patty says, trade away Emeka and Rome for Jettas and RJ Harvey, full PPR. Little concerned about the playoff schedule for Emeka. He has Amara, Nico, Sutton, Kyron, and Javonte Williams.
Wow. I don't think I do that. Do I? I don't own any shares of Jettas, unfortunately. I'd love to. what's he been like with? He's
think
only wide
he's
receiver
been-
14 on the season. He's not missed any time. I don't think I do that.
I don't think I do it either. I'm not too worried about Emeka's playoff schedule. So yeah, I don't think I make that trade.
Listen to these last 4 weeks in targets though: 10, 11, 9, and 12 for Jettas. I mean, this last week against Baltimore, he had 12 targets. He only reeled in 4 of them for 37 yards though. So I mean, this is not the Jettas of old where we've got exceptional quarterback play that's just killing it this week. So I don't think I do that. Emeka's been too good. I don't think I do.
Yeah, I don't do it unless I absolutely need a running back to start. I know Harvey will be slid in. I can't bring myself to make that trade. Jamie says, Hunt or White from Tampa. Kayla really needs a win this week, or needs a win, LOL.
I go with Rashad White.
Yeah, I think I go with White as well.
Do I? Actually, I think, did Pacheco not get ruled out already this week?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Yes, he did.
I think I own any.
He absolutely did. Denver's 11th against the run. Denver's 11th.
Give me Kareem Hunt.
Buffalo's 24th against the run versus Denver's 11th. I'm 100% going Rashad White.
I still think I go Kareem Hunt. I think they find a way to get him the ball on the flats and everything else. So I'm going to go with Hunt.
Okay. Elliot says, morning, gents. Few questions. He says he's got Denver defense versus the Chiefs or grab the Chargers defense. Secondly, should I play Shakir and flex or keep Quentin Johnston in? Don't like starting defenses against Patrick Mahomes, Brandon. I really don't.
I think I go with the Chargers. Trevor Lawrence is more likely to throw an interception than Patrick Mahomes, so I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
I think you keep Shakir in the flex. They ruled out Coleman this, coach's decision. I think you keep Shakir in the flex. Quentin Johnston's also questionable with the shin. I believe he is leaning towards playing.
Expected to play. Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, but I still think I go with Shakir.
I go Quentin Johnston. I mean, when you talk about ceiling plays between Shakir and Johnston, Johnston's going to have a much higher ceiling. And if you're playing off a player in your flex, I always say you put your safe players, your guys that you know what to expect. You get those guys in your lineup. You put the players in the flex that you want to pop off for you. I go Quentin Johnston. He's got a higher ceiling in my mind. All right, Brant. Tony's asking game day food for today. Do we want to spoil it now, or do we want to make Tony wait until a little later on the show?
We could spoil it now. We can go ahead and spoil it now.
How about you give a teaser and you tell us about your breakfast burrito that you got? We'll save the rest.
I got a breakfast burrito from Hayes. It's got a little eggs and bacon and sausage and potatoes. A little salsa in there too as well, just to give it that little kick to it. Haven't tried the food from this place. Oh, I guess I did try the cinnamon roll, and I know as fat as I am, it was a little too sweet for me in the morning. But the food has been phenomenal from this Hayes' coffee place, the little bit I did try. So I'm excited to get to this burrito.
Okay. All right. There you go.
It was a pretty good size burrito for $4 too.
Tony, stay tuned. We'll talk about the rest later.
Sorry. Rob says, worried about the weather in Buffalo. Who would you start at QB, Baker, Darnold, or Geno versus Dallas? And there is a chance of snow with 20 mile per hour winds in that Buffalo Tampa Bay game. I'm not starting Geno. Somehow he'll find a way to throw 3 interceptions against that Dallas defense.
Implied point total for Baker's 20. Implied point total for Darnold's 22. So,
yeah, I think I go with Darnold.
Well, I'm thinking it's pretty similar between the two. You're talking a field goal there, which doesn't really affect the quarterbacks too much. I think I go Darnold as well, but I think it's simply just because you don't have any weather issues to worry about in that contest.
I'm watching this game, and Rodriguez, the last 3 times I've looked up, has taken one and has literally got taken down by like a shoelace, or he'd be breaking it for a touchdown. Uh, if he clears that hand, he's probably gone.
Yep. We can't have a touchdown in this game. It just wouldn't feel right. Kayla says Sutton, Worthy, Parker Washington, Tez Johnson, or Kareem Hunt need to start 3. I go with the first 3 names, Sutton, Worthy, and Parker.
Right as you say it. Did they call it? Oh, they called him down at the 1, didn't they?
One official's got his hand up. One can't tell.
All right, Sutton, Worthy, Parker, Washington, Tez, or Kareem. They called it a touchdown on the TV. Need to start 3 here. That would be the first touchdown in Madrid. Looks like he's in.
I'd say he's in.
I'm going to go with Parker Washington here. Man, I really want to. I think I go Washington, Sutton, and Kareem Hunt, I think.
Okay. All right. I went with the first 3. Brant swapped Worthy out for Kareem. So,
yeah. Charles says, if weather turns out bad as the forecast, should I flex Woody Marks instead of Becca? I can't trust him. I can't trust Woody. I just can't.
I'm 100% not playing Woody Marks over Emeka Ibuka. I'm not doing it at this point. Emeka, when Emeka plays, he is so good. I just think he's too good to sit. I can't do it. Sorry, I can't.
Jamison Williams or Metcalf? Rob asked. I'm going with Metcalf here. I like this matchup this week. I think it's going to be, I think they were the second highest point total. They're tied with a few other ones, but yeah, I think I go with DK this week.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you, Brand. I'm going to go DK as well. All right, let's get into these underdog plays and our touchdown scores of the week while we got a little gap here in questions. That way we can be ready to go when the updates start rolling in on players out and in today. All right.
Okay.
All right, Brant, take me through your underdog card this week. What do you got? What do you got in the lineup? You were doing pretty well on Thursday, still looking good today. What are you looking for this weekend?
Still looking good. I need 2 more receptions for Ertz to finish that one, and I think it's about 20 more yards from A-Chain to finish off mine that I put out on Wednesday. And for today, I have a lot of rush attempts. For players. I've got Bijan Robinson to go over 15 or higher than 15 and a half rush attempts. I think they feed him the ball. I think they let him get his legs going. So I'm going to take him to go higher than 15 and a half rush attempts. And now I'm going to talk about 2 quarterbacks that I think are going to go over their rush attempts. I got Caleb Williams to go higher than 4.5 rush attempts. I like this matchup. I think he tries to get out. I think Minnesota tries to get out after him, and he gets a couple scrambles. So I'm going to take him to go higher than 4.5 rush attempts. And then Detroit plays the most man-to-man defense. So I'm going with Jalen Hurts to go higher than 4 or 6.5 rush attempts. You'll probably see a couple tush-push, so he'll get 2 or 3 that way, and then he just has to scramble for about 4 more. So I like those. And then now I have Jalen Warren to go higher than 16.5 receiving yards. I think they get it to him in the flat. I think he gets out on this Cincinnati defense. So I like Warren. And then I got Kyron Williams lower than 56.5 rushing yards against the Seattle defense. They've been good. They're getting healthy. We get Jones back this week. So the captain's back, and we should be getting back on track this week. And it's a divisional matchup, and they plan for each other so well. So I expect it to be everyone's got it as one of the higher point totals. I'm not sure I believe in that 48.5. I think it's going to be a battle to start the game, and then you'll start seeing some scoring in the second half. I know we've started off red hot in the first quarter. So, but I think they try to keep the ball in the air and not let Kyron beat them.
Okay. All right. I've got Chase Brown higher than 87.5 rushing and receiving yards in that contest against the Steelers. Starting to get his legs underneath of him the second half of the season here. I've got Drake London higher than 5.5 receptions. If he plays, he's going to be the focal point of that pass catching game. We've seen him go over that several times this season. So I've got pretty high expectations for Drake as long as he's good to go. Parker Washington, I have higher than 49.5 receiving yards on the week. Again, Brant and I kind of talked about him a lot this week. If BTJ doesn't play, I have very, very, very high expectations for Parker Washington. I have Josh Allen higher than 216.5 passing yards. I don't think Coleman and Kincaid being out hurts him that bad. This is a guy who spreads the ball around anyway. I know weather doesn't sound great, but I still think Josh Allen gets that done. And then I took the free square. I can't believe you didn't talk about the free square, and you left it for me, so I'll go ahead and do that. I have Jameis Winston to have higher than half of an interception. One thing we know about Jameis Winston, he's as likely to throw an interception as he is a touchdown. Green Bay secondary, not the greatest, but I think he gets that done this week. So
that's fair. That is fair. That's very fair. It's like Geno this year. He's going to throw an interception.
Correct. All right, take me through your touchdown scores. What do you got there this week?
I got Drake London to find the end zone. And then on the reverse side of that one, I have Rico Dowdle to find the end zone as well. I like both of them to be able to find the end zone. And as much as I can't get this guy in my lineup, I think Woody Marks finds the end zone this week, and that might be the best play that he has all day, and I just can't trust it, but I do think he finds the end zone. And then I got Trey McBride to find it. No Marvin Harrison. Who's going to be that focal point there at Arizona. And so I have Trey McBride to find it.
I will say, if Woody Marks finds the end zone, not only will that be his best play of the day, but anybody who finds the end zone, that's the best play of the day too, probably. So just to keep you on your toes there. I've got Chase Brown to find the end zone again. You and I are both kind of in sync on this one. We both think he's got a pretty big day. I've got Derrick Henry to find the end zone. I didn't say I loved his rushing upside. I did say I liked his chance to find the end zone. I've got Kyron Williams to do that this week. I do think you're in agreement. I'm in agreement with you, Brand. I think the Seahawks defense has definitely come to play every week this season. However, I still think there's going to be some scoring in this game, and Kyron Williams is having too good of a season for me to believe he doesn't get there. And then I went with one that my gut's telling me this one, just like your gut's telling you Woody Marks. I've got Quentin Johnston to find the end zone this week. On weeks that he's found the end zone, he's relevant in fantasy. And weeks he doesn't, he's completely not. But he's been a guy that Justin Herbert looks for at times this year. I think I like him to have a good week this week. So there you go.
Okay, absolutely.
All right, let's get back into these questions here. Oops. Clicking too fast. All right, Fantasy Incorporated says Mariota, Ertz, Chase Edmonds, Chris Moore, Deebo Samuel. Is this the oldest roster in NFL history? There's teams that have Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers starting for him this week. So, hey, it's not the youngest for sure, but it's not great.
Andreas asked, good morning, Pollard, Algier, or Sean Tucker, PPR? And then we'll get into the defense question next. I think I go with Pollard in this one.
That's where I want to lean, but I want to see what Pollard's snap count's been like since Algier or since Spears is starting to get healthy. It's really taking a hit. Coming out of the bye week, Houston is 8th best against the run. I think I go Algier in this one, Brandon. I think with how well he's spotting the end zone right now, I think I go Algier. I don't necessarily love it, but I think he's got the highest upside out of those three.
Okay. He also asked Cowboys defense or Bills defense.
Sorry. Yep. I forgot you.
I'm going with the Cowboys defense. Like I said, Gino's going to find a way to throw an interception.
Well, that defense got way better at the trade deadline too. You talk about Quinnen Williams there in the front line, Logan Wilson at linebacker. They're going to be a better prepared defense. And let's also not forget they've got two corners that are super ball hawks. They either give up big plays or they score touchdowns. So, yeah, I think there's some upside for the Cowboys defense in this contest. Thanks for keeping me honest on that one, Brand. I did forget he has the defense side of that one. Let's see if there's anything starting to roll in just yet on the injury front.
Holy.
Keon Coleman did miss time because he was late to meetings on Friday morning. That's why he is not playing this week, for anybody who was keeping track at home.
Okay. All right.
Not seeing anything else too terribly crazy coming in just yet.
Well, McCall Hardman's gonna play this week.
Thank goodness I didn't drop him yet.
Right.
Gabe Davis is also making his season debut this week, I believe, if I'm not mistaken on that one.
Yeah, I'm not seeing much coming across yet.
No, not yet. Not yet.
That's going to be something to keep an eye on. The Seattle is they moved their center to the IR, so they'll be rotating between two of them, trying to figure out which one's going to be our new starter. So that will be something to keep an eye on. We fumbled the first snap as that came out last week, and hopefully a week of practice they'll be able to get that down.
Who is your running back one on the week?
Ashton Genty. I think they're going to use and abuse him against Dallas. They're going to try to keep Dak off the field. Genty's going to see the ball quite a bit. I like Ashton Genty this week.
Yeah, I was leaning towards Javonte Williams in that one, but I'll go someplace else just to spread our love a little bit. I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs against that Giants defense. I'll take him. Who's your wide receiver?
And the reason I picked Flacco over Rodgers, Jamar Chase is the wide receiver one this week. Not going to get fancy with it. Not going to get anything. Jamar Chase.
I'm so tempted to go Puka or JSN, but you having such high doubts on that contest has got me fading in a little bit, so I'll stay away from that one. Let's go Rashee Rice against a strong defense in Denver, but Rashee Rice finds a way to get it done. Tight end.
I'm going to go on the opposite side of the ball of Jamar Chase, and I'm going to go Pat Freiermuth. I like his matchup against
loose.
Yeah, I like the matchup since he is very susceptible to the tight ends. So I think Freiermuth is going to have a very good game.
I'm shocked you didn't go Trey McBride. I figured you'd double down on that one.
I didn't want to double down. I do think Trey is going to be right up there. But I didn't want to double down. I wanted, like you said, I wanted to spread the love a little bit.
I'll go Jake Ferguson. I think against the Raiders defense, who's super susceptible to just about everything. I'll take my shot in that game, tight end position.
Okay.
All right, Tony does ask, just curious, if you had to pick right now, what's y'all's Super Bowl picks?
I really have. It's been so open this year. I really haven't given a whole lot of thought. I think if I had to pick right now, I think that I would have to go with Indy representing the AFC. They well-rounded that team out, adding Sauce Gardner. They went right after their biggest weakness. I think maybe they did overpay a little bit, but that's what they needed to make their run this year. And I think I like Indy from the AFC, and that NFC is so wide open.
If I'm picking today, Brant, you guys' game today is going to influence this decision a lot. But if I'm picking today, I honestly think it's Indy and LA for me. I really do.
Okay. I think I still have to lean with Detroit or Philly, and that's another game that's today. I just think the experience there, getting into the playoffs and everything else, I think I have to go with Detroit or Philly. Probably lean Detroit right now.
Okay.
According to Adam Scheffler on Sunday, NFL Countdown, London is expected to play, but not 100%. I say.
Yeah. We're still about 3 minutes from now. Those injury updates will start pouring in on guys. I expect Drake London's going to be out there for the Falcons today. I really do think that he's going to play. But again, the issue is when you get guys that are super sick with the flu, how much of Drake London do we see? I think if he plays, he's going to be a normal workload. So I have no worries of Drake London as long as he's good, gets the good to go. Not like I said, we're about 3 minutes from that now. So hopefully that stuff starts pouring in shortly. Is that old Jeremy McNichols getting work now in this contest?
Yep, and that passing down.
How's your 5 yards for?
He's over 5. He's over 5.
Okay.
He got over 5. That's it. I think he's at 6.
So we just need to hope he doesn't get another carry the rest of the game.
Yes. A-Chain is for my Underdog. I don't think A-Chain saw any carries on that last one. Oh, there goes Krosky Merritt for a 0-yard rush.
Oh, real close to losing one. Real close to losing one. Let's talk. Can we talk about Chris Rodriguez for a second? 14 carries, 79 yards, so explosive.
He is, and you know, I mean, he's up. I mean, he's still young, and like I said, he's explosive. He's had at least 3 plays that I saw where he was just a shoelace away from a touchdown. He's definitely the most explosive back, I think. Like you said, Krosky Merritt's going to get, has already been kind of ruled out of the rotation as much. He's just there as the change of pace. You got Rodriguez as your normal back, and then you got McNichols coming in on the 3rd down. So,
yep, I mean, it's Chris Rodriguez's backfield. Still think the Commanders wish they had Brian Robinson, but
most definitely.
Ryan says last one. I think I already know the answer. Caleb Williams or Aaron Rodgers this week. It's Caleb Williams.
Yep, I'm going with Caleb Williams. Yep. Tony says Zay Flowers without Bateman or Tet with AJ Terrell on him. I still go with Tet. I was about to get really confident with that, but
listen, as a Falcons fan, I'm leaning Tet. AJ doesn't typically shadow players. Is it possible he does this week? Yeah, it's possible. But if you look back all the way back to week 3. That was kind of before we really saw the breakout for Tet, but he still had 8 targets week 3 and that absolute mud hole stomping that the Panthers put on my Falcons back in week 3. Had 8 targets, just only 3 receptions for 48 yards. So I think it was probably more Bryce Young issues. I think I lean Tet pretty comfortably. I don't love Zay Flowers this year. He's had some glimmers, but I think if I had to say which one I think has a higher ceiling, I feel like it's definitely Tet. Zay is wide receiver 24. Tet is wide receiver 22. So yep, I'll play the numbers. I'll go Tet.
Who is Mariota's backup? Because he is down on the field right now.
I don't know if I know who the Commanders' third string quarterback is.
Let's go ahead and pull that up. Take a look. Oh, little Josh Johnson.
Yeah, that might be better than Mariota, but again, Mariota's been okay. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, for the sake of this game in Madrid, that Mariota is able to get up and play.
All right, here we go. We got some inactives. Buffalo is Elijah Moore. Inactive Kincaid. We already talked about Coleman. Those are both inactives. The Titans are missing Calvin Ridley, set to return. Looks like Samaje P. Ryan's out for the Bengals. Jermaine Burton's out for the Bengals. Hendrickson's still out.
Matthew Golden's good to go for the Packers. No Brandon McManus. So if you're playing in leagues with kickers, he's probably an often ruled one. Drake London, good to go, guys. There it is. From the Atlanta Falcons beat writers. Drake London's going to play this week, so you can fire Drake London up. I think we're still waiting on the Quentin Johnston one for the 100% for sure. Hopefully that one rolls out real shortly. Brian Thomas Jr. officially inactive.
Okay.
So definitely be firing up those Parker Washington shares. I think he played Jacoby Myers too, honestly.
Of course, I only get like 4 teams that update on mine. I must be only 4 teams I look at throughout the week.
I'm not seeing a lot coming out right now, so there'll still be more as the morning rolls on here, but nothing crazy for the Bears are missing starting linebacker TJ Edwards, so that makes me like Aaron Jones even more, I would say.
Is Johnson back? I know he opened his window. The cornerback there.
Jalen, he's not listed as being out.
Okay. There goes Mariota into the medical tent. Luckily, they did, for their sake, luckily they at least just punted the ball back, so they got a little bit of a drive to get him back.
Still waiting to see some more pop up. We got some big ones still waiting. I need the Chargers one to come out. Oh, there it is, right on cue. Quentin Johnston officially active for week 11. So I think most of the big ones that we were kind of questioning have kind of been answered. My goodness. You've got 4 starters out for the Pittsburgh Steelers defense right now. So fire up your Bengals players even more so. Alex Highsmith out, Darius Slay out, Cole Holcomb out. 2 of their defensive tackles that they rotate in and out, Logan Lee and Broderick Martin are out. I think that's big energy for the Bengals side of the ball there.
Let's see. Texans have C.J. Stroud out. Fairbairn is out still. Nothing big on that one. Look, guys, I've already seen enough of the Bills.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else come out that's super noteworthy right now. Dalton Schultz, who was questionable all week with a shoulder and illness, is playing. Yeah, I think most of your guys, you've gotten your answer on at this point. They're either good to go or they're not. So I think we kind of know where we're at and what to expect there. So again, I'm firing up Drake London with full amount of confidence. I'm confident in my Jaguars wide receivers not named Brian Thomas Jr. with him being out. So I think we're comfortable with where we're at.
Tua firing into double coverage.
I was going to say, why would he throw that ball? That was
because he hasn't had a chance. He hasn't had a chance to release a deep ball today.
I mean, he had a wide open receiver underneath. I don't know who that was, but definitely missed a wide open target in favor of double coverage there. I mean, even Jalen Warren, you could see he doesn't break on that route hard until the second half of it because he was like, "There's no way this is coming my way." Tua said, "Hold my concussion medication. Here it comes." All right, Brant. Let's discuss it. What's on the menu for you this week?
So on the menu, as you all heard, my nice breakfast burrito this morning that I'll go devour as soon as I'm done here. And then I am going with a deer roast tonight with some homemade mashed potatoes. Going to have a nice little dinner here after my Seahawks game, hopefully after a big win. And then for lunch, we're going to do some appetizers. We got some in the deep freezer. In the freezer, we'll throw in the air fryer and get some mozzarella sticks and pickle chips. And I don't even know what else is in there, but we're going to do some appetizers for lunch.
Okay. I'm not super thrilled with my menu today, but I'll put it out there anyway. Kids stayed the night at my sister-in-law's house last night. My wife's on the way to go pick them up all right now. She's picking up McDonald's on the way home, little Mickey D's for lunch, and then unfortunately we're going with pizza for dinner. So pretty subpar food week for us in the Finley household, but thankfully at least it'll all be had sitting in front of the TV today.
There you go. I'll miss the Tony says Rico or Chase Brown or Derrick Henry. Pick 2. I'm going with Rico, and I think I go with Derrick.
I'm going Chase Brown and Derrick Henry on that one. I think Rico's going to have a good week as well, but I think the ceiling's way higher for Chase Brown and Derrick Henry. Gregory says he's with Brant today. Deer season started on Saturday over here in America, so today is venison Sunday at the house. Pan-fried backstrap. He said blackstrap, but I assume that means backstrap, and shredded Italian deer shank sandwiches. My food was alive and well yesterday morning. Beat that freshness. Yeah, I mean, it's better than your pan-fried squirrel you had last week or the week before. So, people in Missouri eat some weird things. So I'm
not against what you're over there eating, Gregory.
I don't think you're eating pan-fried squirrel, but maybe
I would try it.
This guy's catching his squirrel out of the bug zapper like Mama is on the Water Boy. So that's a Southern Missouri. It's not a Central Illinois thing, but hey, to each their own.
Jennifer says, how about some pick'ems? Bears or Vikings, Bengals or Steelers, Lions or Eagles? I'm going Bears, Steelers. I think I go Philly.
Yeah, I actually did every Sunday. I just for poops and grins, I get on some sites and I just pick every game of the week, and I did take Bears, Steelers, and Lions on those three contests. So I'm pretty confident about the first two, less so obviously against Philly, but here we go. We got another one that says in Louisiana we eat anything. So Jennifer's chowing down on squirrel too. I will say if Louisiana, the baby cakes in New Orleans, that's kind of a weird deal. I'm not sure I understand all of what a baby cake is, but I will throw down on some alligator bites. I'm sure alligators a normalcy in Louisiana where it's a rarity everywhere else, but I would say I'd be interested in some alligator.
Mm-hmm. Landon asked Calvin Ridley or Jaden Higgins. How's Higgins been? Wrong Higgins there. Fat fingered my phone here.
Higgins is coming off of his best career game last week. 7 targets, 5 receptions, 42 yards receiving, and a touchdown. Whereas I don't think Calvin's done much all year.
I know he's missing time.
Yeah, I mean he's had one game in double-digit fantasy points this season. Now, granted, he did miss some time after week 6, but
I think I'm going to go with Higgins on this one.
I agree. I'll go Jaden Higgins as well. I think when you talk about a rookie wide receiver, he's only going to get better as the season goes on the Calvin Ridley side at his age, injuries. It could very well be going the opposite direction for Calvin Ridley. So I'll roll with the rookie that's really just getting going, getting his feet wet in the NFL. A rookie that I was pretty high on. I'll go Jaden Higgins on that one.
Okay.
All right, Brent, you don't have to sweat your team until the 4 o'clock slate tonight. So what are you watching on that 1 o'clock slate?
I'll have the Tampa Bay Buffalo game on and the Cincy and Pittsburgh game, are they're going to be the two that I'll be keeping an eye on. I'd like to see that I think it's going to be a high scoring off the chart between Cincy and Pittsburgh. And then I'd like to see, Tampa Bay and Buffalo. I think they're both going to have good games and get back. I know the weather is, weather's questionable there, but they're both good teams and they both have high powered offenses. So that's going to be the game that I'll have my eye on.
Yeah. Obviously at the 1 o'clock slate, where my eyes are going to be, but I can't wait to at least check in and see some stats and some highlights of the Giants at Packers game. Jameis Winston generates must-watch TV. At the very end of it, we're going to get some kind of a good excerpt from his press conference afterwards as well. So for me, I'm kind of intrigued to see what Jameis Winston does there in New York.
You probably won't have to wait till the end. Let's be honest. His pregame speech will probably get us all fired up. Yeah. Oh, Jameis Winston's always fun. Always fun to watch.
Jennifer says she's thinking with the Steelers defense so banged up, Bengals could keep it close. It would not surprise me if the Bengals won this contest. The Steelers have been wishy-washy. The Bengals have been wishy-washy. It would not surprise me at all for this game to go either way. I just think I lean slightly Steelers when there's money on the line. But yeah, it could go either way, honestly.
Yep, it's definitely going to be. I think it's definitely going to be a high scoring game with both teams' defenses. Steelers being banged up, and then the Bengals just don't have a defense. So I do think it will be a fun game to watch.
I will say this, Brant. I am kind of glad that this is our last overseas contest that we have to sweat this season. Honestly, because it's just one more caveat. You got to, when you're setting your lineups, that you got to be paying attention to and be careful of. So I think we're moving to a point where the NFL, we will see some teams. I think the NFL expands. I think we get an overseas division. I think you see a couple European teams, in the near future. So I think this is a normalcy that's going to be coming in the NFL. But I am glad for it to be over with this week.
Yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't surprise me to see a whole division get moved over there just to make it a little easier for plays and everything else. But yeah, I definitely think it's great for the fan market. It's great for that. The fantasy world is going to get, expand even more than it already is. So it's good. But yes, I agree. The late night going to bed and going, crap, there's an 8:30 game. I better get up and make sure my lineups are set, and still didn't even do it right. I have two people sitting in the flex for an 8:30 game. So it's just reminding. And then we get back to normal football next week. I think we only have, what did I say, this week 12 and week 14 with buys still to go.
Yeah, I think that's right. But I think next week's just two teams, if I'm not mistaken, though. So Ollie Gordon with a touchdown overseas.
Yep. Second touchdown overseas. It might be his second touchdown in his career.
I think you could be right on that. Again, I think it's super interesting that football is making this effort to grow the fandom. In these countries where we're playing, whether it be Germany, Europe, or Spain. The other form of football or soccer, as we in America refer to it, are the dominating sports. So it's definitely interesting to see, the NFL teams go over there. I do think it would be very interesting to see what a fandom would look like if you gave these countries their own teams, because, Brant, recently I've gotten involved into the soccer world a little bit, it's interesting how a place can have three soccer teams, have 50,000 seat stadiums and sell out in a small capita, spot. So it's definitely interesting. I think it'd be very good for the game if it happened, but we'll see if Roger Goodell thinks so as well.
Yep. Tyler does remind us 3 Thanksgiving games and a Black Friday game. Still got to be on your A game for lineups. That is correct. But that week
I will say though,
people don't sleep during those weeks.
No, I will say, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, for fat people like myself and Brant, that is the week for us. You get food all day Thursday with football. You get a little shopping in Friday morning, come home, watch the football, and then roll right into the weekend where you got college all day Saturday and then NFL on Sunday. Thanksgiving week's one of the best weeks for football fans out there. It really is. It is bittersweet because it signifies that the NFL season's coming to a screeching halt. It's definitely not long enough for us that are Falcons fans, but Brant and I usually do try to do a start-sit Sunday morning and Thursday morning on Thanksgiving week if schedules allow it. We probably won't do 90 minutes on either slots. We'll probably do an hour on Thursday and an hour on Sunday, but that's something Brant and I we'll talk about as we get a little closer to the week. But that's usually something we do to try to help you guys make sure you guys are good to go for it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely do. It's always good to wake up Thanksgiving morning and also make sure I'm up to smell all the good food cooking because I'm not cooking it. I'm just eating it. But yeah, the Thanksgiving and Black Friday always sum up. And then that's, like you said, it's just football all weekend long. It's a great time, especially when your family doesn't stick around too long. Um,
Yeah, it's one of those things, right? The extended family, hey, if you're like me, you can tune them out when you're sitting watching football. So love them from a distance, but I'm watching football get out of my face, kind of a thing.
That was Ollie Gordon's third touchdown of his career. He has 1 receiving and now 2 rushing.
Okay. All right. So back to the football games, though. Obviously, the 4 p.m. slate, you're going to be watching your game with a super close intent. But I know you're going to also have your eyes peeled to the Niners-Cardinals game just because you guys' division is so tight. I think I'm leaning towards watching the Seahawks-Rams game as well. I think that has the potential to be the best game of the week in the NFL. I think I think the schedule makers did us really solid again this week. I think that game's really good to watch. I think Sunday night's really good to watch. And I think Monday night's going to be a really fun contest as well when you talk about lack of defenses. But I definitely think you guys' game is going to be my favorite one to watch this week.
Yeah, definitely should. But I'm tempering expectations on points as when the Rams and Seahawks meet. It is the first time we're meeting this year. It's normally a barn burner of a game. Defenses normally step up. There's some punches thrown and pushing and shoving in the trenches after the whistle. It's always a fun game to watch. I've actually got to see one live. Unfortunately, it was in Seattle. It was a great time. Unfortunately, we did lose that game, but it's always fun to watch these two go at it. All right. Krosky Merritt gets a nice little rush.
You can breathe a little bit now, but yeah, guys, listen, we got, give or take 8 minutes left. Brant and I might sign off a few minutes early here. But again, if you don't get your questions in with us, or if there's something that pops up for you last minute that you need to get answers to, don't hesitate to go to the Fantasy Holics Facebook page, drop your start sit questions there. Those guys are super, super helpful. They're definitely checking that chat several times a minute, making sure they're not missing questions, getting you answers in plenty of time. So if you don't get your questions answered in here with Brant or I, don't hesitate to jump on that page and drop your questions there. Get yourself your advice that you need, and be ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we should be, don't forget to tune in live with us on Wednesday. We should be good to go together. My schedule's open. We'll discuss it and make sure everything's good. Either Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll be getting on there. Don't forget to join in. And then you got the Blood, Sweat, and Tears, I believe is Tuesday. Check them out. Those guys do a good job. I've listened to, I normally listen to it after the fact, but I don't get to listen to it when it's live. It's normally game day for my kids playing. So, but I do listen to the replay of it. Those guys are pretty good. And then, like you said, don't forget to get on the page, ask your start sits. If you need anything covered on our cast on Wednesday, don't hesitate to reach out to the Fatboyz on our Facebook page or even on the Fantasy Holics page. On the X page, they'll make sure we get to it. Don't hesitate to reach out. These guys are always on, always keeping you guys up to date with the with all the injury updates and all that. They put out their plays of the week, and these guys do a great job of staying on top of everything.
Yeah. I do want to say one last thing before we sign off for the week. It's time, guys. If your team's barely treading water, it's time to go make some aggressive moves to try to make that playoff push. That's something Brant and I talked about on our Wednesday cast this week. If you didn't happen to catch that, it's time to push your chips into the table and make some decisions on your roster, whether you're selling or buying. It's time to do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And some leagues that trade deadline's coming up real quick.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, Brant, I'm good to go ahead and sign off a couple minutes early here. If somebody, again, if you didn't get your questions asked here, don't hesitate to reach out to the Fantasy Holics. But I think that sums it up for us this week.
Mariota looking like a running back. But yeah, he just exploded out of there. I thought he was getting hit, and he just exploded out of there. Yeah, I'm definitely good to log off. Great way to end it with a great play from old man Mariota. moving like he's back in his rookie year. But as always, stay hungry.
Stay fat, my friends.